Hi guys, it's that time. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Okay, yeah, maybe I should stick to the fins, not the comedy, hey. If you like big butts too, you'll probably be quite keen to have a look at these. So, just having a bit of a rundown on some of my Futures grovel fins whilst I've got them out. So if you've got basically any quad, any retro-y modern fish, any puddle jumpers, LSD techs, puddle fish, anything like that, you'll probably want to. You probably already do know about these fins, but you probably want to know about them and what the differences are. So yeah, kick into it. So the good old Futures controller fins. These and the Lost Seaworthies. They call these a split keel basically. So if you'll see this on millions of guys' videos, but if you bang those together, they almost make a keel fin basically. So for a quad, what they've done is they've just spaced those out a bit, and it gets rid of a little bit of that. Some of the big twin keel fins can be really they're really fun, they're really different, they drive down line really hard, but when you turn, they make the first 2/3 of the turn smoothly, and then they just go all at once. So they're kind of a bit hard to get used to, but these really smooth that out. So yeah, if you've got any sort of a quad fish, or if you've got something like the Lost Puddle fish, which I've got, and I really enjoy these sorts of fins in, you'll want something like these split keel. So these are the originals. These are the first set. They're called the controllers. These are actually in fiberglass, although it's quite a flexible fiberglass, and I love those. These sit in my my sort of semi-retro quad fish, but it's a fish basically. So the only real difference between these and the Lost Seaworthies, the front fin is pretty much identical. The only difference is the rear fin on the Seaworthies has a little bit more depth than this one. So if you're wanting to know which one to pick between, there's really not a lot in it. The only difference is I'd be more thinking about maybe the construction. So if your rear fin on this is going to grip a little bit better, but this is the performance core style construction with that resin transfer mold, and you can see the the hexagon cloth inside, and this is more fiberglass. So what you'll find is these are a little bit stiffer, these are a little bit less stiff and lighter. So if you've got something modern, maybe you've got like a carbon wrap puddle fish or something like I do, or something similar to that, you might like these a bit lighter and a bit more twangy, but you might still like a normal fiberglass fin. So yeah, but don't be scared of these because they actually flex quite well. They've done the fiberglass in them really nicely, so they're not just a rigid horrible fin. So yeah, these are basically called split keel fins, both of these, but those are the Future Zone controllers, and those are the Lost Seaworthies. And if you're into FCS2, you can get those in the Lost, and they're called a split keel, or the FCS2, which is exactly the same template for both, and pretty much the same as these because I've laid those over each other. My surprise package, actually, these are the Captain Fins McCullum Large Special fins, and yeah, I got some of these cheap second hand, and they've never been used. I thought, oh, I'll give them a go. They look kind of wrong, like they're really swept, and they're really laid back, and the front fin's not getting on towards the size of a 20. And yeah, I put these in a couple of my boards, and they're magic. Honestly, they're absolutely magic. You can find these they do them in like a bling bling gold in an RTM type construction in the performance core. But I got these in this beautiful fiberglass, like it's a beautiful multicolored fiberglass. These are actually the FCS base, but you can get them in the Futures base as well. They're just brilliant. Hey, I've had these live in my puddle jumper, and those live in my puddle fish. So yeah, if you've got that kind of setup and you want to try something a little bit different to the full-on split keel, they're really, really cool to try. You just need to make sure you get the McCullum. It's the large. It's like very large. He does another set where both the fins are virtually the same size, but I think it's like two fins that are virtually this size, and you don't get that big one. So if you're a fairly heavy guy, you're not gonna like the lighter ones. Okay, and then yeah, I've sort of raved about these for a long time on online and on the Firewire forum and stuff. So I've been riding. These are the Rainbows. These are the Rainbows Canard speed dialers, and these are, funnily enough, I think these were actually the original split keels, as you can see when you sort of put them together. And they started back in, I think back in the 80s with the Pavel, the Richie Pavel fish, and I know even Roger Hall up north actually does a speed dial board that's suited to these. But I was really surprised. I tried these like years and years ago, and these have been in every sweet potato and baked potato I've ever had, and I've just never taken them out because they're just amazing. I used to run, this is old FCS fins, but I used to run like a, you know, like a GAM or a G7 in the front, and then a G1000 in the back. And what I found, which I was amazed at, I found these to be looser and have more drive than those fins, just because there's just something between the proportions of this upright rear fin and the front fin. Funnily enough, the front fin's actually basically it's an FCS H2 without all that horrible cant in it, which is really weird. And then the back fin is just a really upright fin. This is the cutaway version, but you can get it without the cutaway if you want even more grip. But these things are magic. Like if you don't want the some of these can get a little bit trackier, and you probably need to be a bit heavier rider or a bit more pushing onto your turns a bit harder to appreciate those. But these you can actually ride without having to push quite as hard, and it'll give you a looser, freer feel. So yeah, that's my rundown. So that's the, yeah, if you've got a wide tail board, I'll give you a wee close up of those. Those are my favourite sets of fins to rock in your big butt board, basically. So yeah, if you've not seen all those lined up together before, there you go. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.